What's good, people? Thank you as always for passing by the channel. Much appreciated. Hit that subscribe button if you guys are new. All right, so it's officially been confirmed that Oleksandr Usyk's first fight at heavyweight will be, as expected, Carlos Takam. There were suggestions or rumors that it might be Povetkin, but Povetkin has asked for a bit more time. So it now be Carlos Takam, and it will be May 18th in, I think I heard, Chicago. So it is going directly head-to-head with Dominic Brezaeale versus Deontay Wilder, or should I say Deontay Wilder versus Dominic Brezaeale. So it will eat into those viewing figures without a doubt. I think people are excited to see what Usyk can do at heavyweight, and I think they're excited at the prospect of him fighting Carlos Takam. I am excited. Obviously, I'm a bit disappointed. I think Povetkin would have been an epic fight, a fantastic fight. But if Carlos Takam is a replacement, then it's still a very, very good replacement. What this does do, though, it does free up Povetkin for a rumoured fight with Dillian Whyte. Right, that now can happen. There are rumors that Povetkin will fight Michael Hunter, who, again, a guy coming up from cruiserweight that's done decent things at heavyweight. But, I mean, if they can offer Povetkin enough money to fight Dillian Whyte, O2 Arena, pay-per-view, it's definitely a bigger check than they can give him for fighting Michael Hunter. So we might not ever see Povetkin versus Usyk, which is a shame, because if Povetkin were to fight Dillian Whyte, and this is all ifs and buts, but if he can beat Dillian Whyte, then obviously it gives him a shot at going for that mandatory position for Deontay Wilder's WBC belt. A fight that should have happened 3 years ago, but Povetkin tested positive. I can't remember, was it 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago? So interesting times in the heavyweight division. Back to Takam versus Usyk. Takam's a good opponent for Usyk. I think we all know what Takam can do, what he brings. He's a big, strong heavyweight. He's not in the mold of these giant heavyweights that we're seeing now, the guys that are 6'6", 6'7", but nonetheless, he is big, he is strong. He has been in there with a lot of good heavyweights, but he's lost to all those heavyweights. When you think of Joseph Parker, Povetkin, obviously Joshua, who else has he lost to? Derek Chisora. So he's lost to a lot of the so-called top heavyweights. So, I mean, Usyk will be expected to win, and he will be expected to look impressive. It'll be good to see how Usyk handles that extra bulk, that extra weight. What weight will he come in at? When you think of Usyk, you do think of a cruiserweight that is very, very active. I know he throws a lot of punches per fight, a lot of punches per round. And plus he moves a lot, doesn't he? He kind of bobs and weaves a lot. So you do wonder how this extra weight will impact that. So it is interesting. It is a good first name, I think, for his first fight at heavyweight. I think Povetkin was risky. It was very, very risky. And I think Takam's a bit more safe. Just because, again, Takam hasn't beaten the elite guys when he stepped up. Again, very good guy, will give him rounds. Could go all the way. I expect it to go all the way as well. But I think it's a bit safer than Povetkin, who I still think has something to offer. But again, what it does do, like I said, is free up Povetkin for Dillian Whyte. Dillian Whyte's looking for a credible opponent that we can put on pay-per-view here in the UK. And I think Povetkin, although coming off a loss, I think is very, very credible. They do have some history. Supposedly there was a bout agreement kind of put in place, or a verbal agreement put in place after Povetkin beat Price, but Povetkin went on to Joshua, can't blame him. And Dillian Whyte went on to Derek Chisora. But now they can meet up. So again, interesting news in the heavyweights. I feel like we finally are starting to get all the matchups announced, right? There are only a few top heavyweights out there where we don't know what's going on, such as Joseph Parker. But I think a lot of the other heavyweights now finally starting to get the names and get their bout agreements. And I think this is one, right? May 18th, Usyk versus Takam. Does it massively affect Wilder Brezaeale? I'm not sure, but it will eat into their numbers, definitely. I wish it was like, I think old school here in the UK, I don't know what paper it was, could be the Dirty Sun. They used to be able to show viewing figures, right? So remember back in the day, it was always EastEnders versus Coronation Street. Non-UK viewers are not going to know what the fuck I'm talking about. But you used to see the battle every fucking week. You used to see, EastEnders had 12 million, Coronation Street 11. It'd be good to see the viewing figures for that Showtime fight and for DAZN. I expect Showtime to do more than DAZN, but it'd be good to see what DAZN do in relation to those two fights. What do you guys think? Usyk versus Takam, potentially Povetkin versus Dillian Whyte. Two good matchups. Let me know. Peace.